Okay, we're going to do a PathandTarot collective reading. This is for anyone who comes across this video. It is recorded on a certain date, but because it's open-ended, you could watch this at a later time and still draw the effects from this reading if you put your intentions into it. So they're going to be open. That's why it's a collective reading for the collective unconscious. So we don't have to have any specific intention going into it. We're just going to draw out the cards and see what we get. So this is almost like a time capsule of intention. Hopefully someone comes across it in the future and is able to draw from it something positive, and they can actually get something useful out of it and value. So really we're just going to keep it simple. Like, what do we need to know here right now? From the tarot cards, from the PathandTarot cards. You can get them on Make Playing Cards if you want. Links, there's, everything's down below there. Okay, so we're just going to draw out the cards, talk about them. Let's get started. King of Cups, imaginative. Cool. So this is the beginning of the reading. This is cool because when we get a court card as our first card, it's not the most likely card, because there's only 20 of these in a tarot deck out of the 78, so the chances of getting a court card first draw is somewhat unlikely. So it's really nice because the court card is also the human representation in the tarot. It's me or you, or in this case a divine masculine energy that's being talked about here. So we can change it into that if we need here, so that it can be useful. But we're seeing the King of Cups with imaginative energy. So if you're seeing this at a later time, think about your imagination, your creativity. Water is a very pervasive emotional energy, but fire is also very transformative. So combine the two things. What do we get? So what do we get? We get balance. The result of these conflicting energies create a balance for us with the Two of Pentacles, another earth energy, dealing with like a passive element, which is earth. But we've also got the Queen of Swords that is on top of this energy here. It's, a cold energy. I see the Queen of Swords a lot in readings. It's one of those stalker-like cards, if you will. But it's great because it's an interesting energy to help remind us that, sometimes you have to have like a cold exterior to protect yourself. But, on the inside, the Queen still has the ability to care. The Queen's energy set all have that, in common, because you've got water in there. It's very emotional. It's very caring. It's very life-giving. So let's get another card here. We got disappointment. So what comes from balance can sometimes lead to disappointment. And that kind of makes sense because, you can do everything right. One thing I've learned over the time that I've spent on this earth is that you can show up on time, you can do absolutely everything right, and still fail. It's just, that's the way of the world. Something can still happen that causes a failure in your efforts, well beyond your control. That's just the way it is. So, it's like driving to work and you're late going to work because there's like a car accident or something you can't control. I hope that doesn't happen, but that's an example of, showing up and, doing everything right and still having a failure happen, still being disappointed. Even though you've got balance, you can still have that happen. That's a reminder of just how the world works, the sheer brutality of the human condition in a way. But let's not get too fatalistic here. Let's get some more cards. We've got haste, be quick. So you can overcome disappointment, those things, by acting quickly, by using the air energy of the Queen, having that cold exterior to be quick. And see, that's why the Queens can be a good energy to have in readings, is that it's that cold exterior, that austere energy allows you to deflect these disappointments and just kind of shrug them off and just move quickly. You got the Eight of Wands, a very fiery, transformative energy, to just move on to the next thing. And what is that next thing? Nine of Cups, happiness, bliss, pure bliss. So we got a nice sequence here too. 8, 9. That's pretty cool. But bliss has a hidden challenge. It asks you, if you have everything you could possibly want, where do you go from there? You're at the very, very top of things. To go farther up requires more effort. So the problem with the positive cards that I think in the tarot deck is that you can't go further up from there. That's it. You can only go down. So that's the challenge that bliss has embedded into it, is that you've got everything. So what's next? What is next? Loss. See what I mean? See? The tarot is an uncanny thing here. And here, we've got the fives. Both fives represented in this reading. This is interesting because this is good energy to get out and talk about. Because again, it comes back to dealing with, haste allows resolution of these things. Loss, Five of Pentacles, like a sense of it's monetary loss. Like you've lost everything. So that's the up and down that we were just talking about, is the exact opposite there. So that's a pretty interesting symmetry that we've got here. So let's get our last card here to kind of tie up the reading. So where do we end up at the end? So we kind of end up unbalanced a bit. And that connects to our king over here on the other side. Kings have the fire energy. So we're left in a sense of having things not quite tied together, which is okay. Leaving things unbalanced allows the opportunity to go in and make those changes, right? It's like an unfinished work. Like a piece of artwork that still needs to have a little bit more colors put into it. So it gives someone the opportunity to go in there and take control of it and extract the satisfaction of finishing that thing. You are creating value by finishing that thing, and you're extracting the experience from it, which is gives you a sense of ownership of that work. So just, leaving it unbalanced and open like this, I think that's a good thing. There's a positive thing to that with this king energy here. So that's the reading we got here for here and now in this moment. And I'll see you in the next reading.